on my son. Hush, little baby, breathing so calm. He'll protect us all and keep us from harm. Hush, little baby, still and serene. You are a Muslim, Islam's your deen. Hush, little baby, pure and small.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, dear viewers, we are still discussing the same topic which we opened last time, how to learn or how to teach a language, particularly Arabic, effectively. And we're still doing the same thing, and we'd like to hear from you. If not, I'm going to move a little bit. I'm going to change what I've said in the previous episodes. And I'm going to correct it by saying that life is limited, and in order to perfect the oral language and the oral skills and to move to the reading skills and writing skills, it definitely takes a long time. Some person would say, no, I don't need that. I don't want to learn Arabic to speak Arabic. And you have millions of reasons. One reason would say that when I perfect learning Arabic, right, when I go to any Arab country, I find them they speak a different dialect than the other ones. Another problem. This one is caused by the Arabs, which is caused by the British people, of course. They colonized the Arab countries, and you know that they love Islam very well, right? And that's why they wanted to destroy Islam, but very nicely, while we are smiling. So they encouraged the dialect in every country. And with the encouragement of a dialect in every country, they separate people from each other. It becomes so difficult to communicate with a Moroccan, between a Moroccan and Egyptian, between a Sudanese and, for example, an Emirati person. Becomes very difficult, right? Because this dialect is becoming a new language. And at the same time, they're doing a wonderful job in that they are separating people from the Quran, because the standard language is different from the dialect. They're getting two in one. They know how to play the game very well. So now this is it. So by doing this, they keep the Muslims away from the Quran. And perhaps in some countries that have visited, students of knowledge like you, they know about the Quran sometimes even better than the Arabs when they deal with the Quran, because the Arabs don't use the language that's in the Quran. They don't use the word wal-adiyati. They don't use these words that are mentioned in the Quran. They use their own dialect. You see what they have achieved. Anyway, so now you are in this situation. One person would say that, why would they know standard Arabic now? We tell him that because this is the language of the Quran. He said that, but I don't want to learn the language of the Quran. I want to communicate with the people in Sudan because I'm a businessman, right? In Sudan, I have my business in Sudan. Why would I learn standard Arabic? And he has a valid point. Definitely. If I were him, I would do the same thing. This is an introduction of, for example, when I worked on my book that took 10 years from me, I asked the same question. What does every Muslim need? This was the question. And I raised this question for many years. And I was just collecting some data and collecting some books so I would prepare myself to author them. I came up with every Muslim in the world wants to read the Quran. When he reads the Quran, he would understand it. When he listens to the Quran, he would understand it, right? When somebody makes a speech, right, he would understand if the speech is in Arabic. Is this a goal of every Muslim from learning Arabic? Do you think that it's a common purpose? Yes. For some others would say, no, I want to perfect speaking Arabic because I want to teach Arabic. This is out of the focus. But the common thing among all the Muslims, when they want to read the Quran, and you can see I repeated the word repeat many times now. Read, 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 read. So you understand that the focus of the book is on reading. What's missing to make it communicative? With understanding. All the time when we talk about any skill, because of the definition of the language, there should be the element of understanding. Reading with understanding and listening with understanding. So the main two focuses, I told you that, you see, I changed my mind. In the first period, I was talking about, yes, the oral skills. Now I changed my mind, right? Why? Because I thought that these are the goals for every Muslim, is listening with understanding and reading with understanding. Is this clear? So what I'm trying to say that you design a program based on the objectives that you have, the aims and the goals that you want to achieve. If your goal is to help people read with understanding, so your focus from the very beginning, as early as possible, is to read with understanding. If your focus is to speak with understanding, so you have to shift the focus. So now we are talking about different types of books, right? Based on each of these curriculums or each of these textbooks should be linked with the purpose and the aim that you are designing the course for. And because I think that every Muslim should have this idea, should understand, that's why most of the vocabulary of the book should be from the Quran. But you need to play with it. That you have seen, for example, the Ar-Rahman. The second one is what? Allahu Ar-Rahman. Right? Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. You make some slight variation, right? So that to help students, when they step into the Quran, they would be able to, yes, understand. And from the early days, even from the very first few days, as we've done today, some of you didn't have any background about Surah Ar-Rahman, but after half an hour or an hour, they mastered it, or close to mastering. So this is exactly what. So the focus here is not oral, because I don't expect you, all of you, to speak Arabic. It would be a waste of your life, unless you work as teachers of Arabic. Do you see the point now? So the loud voice in the beginning was about oral skill, right? And now it's different. But when the problem is, when you go to schools, even they don't know the objectives of what they want to teach. Just we want students to learn Arabic, okay? So what is in Arabic? Do you want them to speak well? Do you want them to understand the Quran? Do you want to? And they would tell you that I want them to understand the Quran. Then you take the textbook and examine it. It talks about something else. The objectives of the textbooks are addressing some purposes that are not used. And this is exactly what's happening in almost all schools. And that's why we need to spend some time on this, because this is where the benefit is. I expect you to have lots of comments, opposition, yes.
Keeping in mind the objective, say for example for our school, if the objective is the children should be able to read and understand the Arabic language. So keeping that in mind, if they start with the recognition of letters and writing, as we initially started with, is that correct?
For example, yes, we will teach them writing, but the sensitive matter is, when should we teach it? We should all the time ask ourselves this: if we teach it at this time, is it effective or not? If I teach them these letters in the beginning, and they are young, and they have not developed, as I mentioned right now, these skills of motor skills in their hands, it takes longer time. If I'm designing a course, I put in my book, I taught the alphabet, although my book is for adults, by the way. I put teaching the alphabet in after 120 pages. And I didn't waste the 120 pages. The students were reading the words, and they were understanding the meanings without knowing the alphabet, as some of you did now when you read Ar-Rahman and Allah, without knowing. And even you made it something that's not written. It's an evidence against you. Yeah, to tell you that you can read, you can learn words, you can understand, you can communicate with what you're reading, even, right, if you don't know the alphabet. And this is, again, when you talk to a specialist, yes, he would tell you how, but this is how I designed my books. So I did not waste the time of the students, so they step into it, start interacting, understanding. From the first day, by the way, I would open any page in the Quran. From the first day, again, from the first day, I would open any page in the Quran. I would recite, and the students would start stopping me when they found words that they understood. First day, with no background, from only the page that they studied or the 2 pages that they studied at that day, whenever I read from any page, they will find these words are repeated. Okay. That's why it took 10 years. Jazakumullahu khairan. We'll take a break and we'll come back to finish this topic. I hope it is interesting for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm.
Images and depictions of our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam have spread around the globe.
May endless blessings be upon thee.
His life is being examined in the glare of the global media spotlight. It is the duty of every Muslim to present to the world the truth of his life and the excellence of his character.
And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the universe.
To do this, you have to know your Prophet. It's something that you simply can't afford to be ignorant of.
Oh Allah, send your peace on your slave Muhammad.
Study the exemplary personality of our Prophet, peace be upon him, which attracts people of all faiths and nationalities in Know Your Prophet, peace be upon him. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. and repeat telecast at 8:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch truth prevail and lies perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik every Saturday to Thursday at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back after the break. We'll continue our discussion. Yes, I said that the most important thing that teachers should ask, what is the right time to do this? When is the right time to introduce this? When is the right time to introduce grammar? Because in the first beginning, I think one definition was talking about words together put grammar. When is the right time to teach grammar? Can I get a clue from you? Any answer? When is the right time to teach grammar? The right time to teach grammar, ask yourself, how did you learn, right? Your native language. When was the first time for you you started learning about grammar, the Indian grammar? Tell me, what year?
Grade 7,
Grade 7.
grade 6 or 7.
Grade 6 or 7. Grade 4.
When I started speaking as
Usually
my
most
peers,
of them in grade 4.
I learned Hindi.
Huh?
Hindi.
Hindi. Okay, so did you learn Hindi language? When you learned Hindi language, when did you learn grammar?
Grade 6, grade
Grade
7.
6? Are you sure that you studied Hindi language?
Yes.
Seems that you're not sure. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Tell
yes.
me what year. Let's agree that it is 5 or 6. Okay. So that you spent 4 or 5 years from your life at home learning to speak and to listen very well. You went to school, started learning, reading and writing in addition to skill of listening and speaking. Then after 5 or 6 years, that means almost your age is 10, and you are learning grammar now. Okay, believe me, I worked in an institution, that's why I quitted the institution, that they wanted to put grammar in the first year for you. teaching Arabic to the non-Arabs, and they said that the grammar was one of the main things to teach it to new students. Just first year, they joined the school to learn the language. He said, no, grammar is important. Wow. So I'm sorry to say, you are the victims of the unexperienced teachers who did this job for you, who came from the Middle East, yes, and did this.
Even now, when
Even now, I know it
some
happens.
institution who are teaching Arabic for the Quranic Arabic,
I know.
they begin with grammar.
Do you know why they begin with grammar? Because most of the grammar is related either to knowledge or concepts. I can explain any concept to you in the world by using another language. I explain it to you, so you understand it, so you feel very happy that you understood, right? But you go home, you don't know how to use it. And the purpose of any grammar in the language is how to use it when you speak, when you write. So the people, the students are happy and the teachers are happy because of this. They can explain it. They think the students knew something, but they knew something that's not beneficial for them at all at this time. Do you see what I'm saying? So the best thing, the best question is all the time for you, if you are involved in teaching Arabic or teaching Quran, is these questions. When should I do this? Should I do it here or this? And then the other question is, how do I do that? We spent all the previous days of how to do it, how to make it effective. How would I teach grammar? There is something called functional grammar and theoretical grammar. The functional grammar is the grammar that functions. When you speak your language, how many people in your country who have not joined a school to learn? Many, right? Do they speak Hindi well? Yes. How did they learn this grammar? How did they speak correctly without going to school? Because they listened to it many times until they perfected the pattern, right? Now I can give you a simple pattern. I want to drink. I want to eat. I want to play. I want to. I want to. I want to. I want to. You can use millions of sentences from one pattern. This is exactly how they learned it. They listened to it many times. They practiced it many times. It became part of their blood. You don't need to be a PhD holder to explain the grammatical rules to them. So now you can teach your children in grade 1 grammar, but called functional grammar. This is the grammar. Never ever mention a subject, never mention an object, never mention a preposition. So the how of the matter, how to do it, is what we are lacking. And when to do it. We have to get this expertise, and then after that we will decide. And that's why you will find students in organization number A are at this level. Students are in organization number B are still at this level. Some people are running and some people are still walking and some others are sleeping. Any other comments, please? I don't want to sound negative. This is the reality. There should be a change. There is a change on the individual level. When I focused in the previous days, when I said that we want to make you the master of the textbook. We want you to make you the master of the textbook. You are not a slave of the textbook. If you become a slave and a follower of a textbook, you're not going to change anything. We want you to challenge the textbook. We want you after this, workshop, say, I know better than those who wrote this. I know that when I teach this, I should teach it at this specific time, and I teach it in this way, and I have results, and I've seen some experiences happening inside the classroom, and I've seen results after an hour. Now you got the expertise. You have to challenge. Don't follow everything. Okay, good?
Jazakallah Sheikh, I really appreciate the effort that
Did
we are
you say
putting
that's
in.
lunchtime?
No.
Okay, you didn't say. I heard it. It's lunchtime. Yeah.
I said
So hungry.
Jazakallah that you are putting in so much effort to change the system. And
I hope so.
yes, inshallah. May Allah help us.
Ameen. Remember that this is the job of the messengers of Allah. They're to change people to do a better job. Yes,
Yes.
but their focus was on something else. Yes.
And you mentioned about teaching Arabic efficiently to people who are non-Arabs and students.
And to
But-
the Arabs as well, by the way. Do you think, okay.
Yes, but one more thing I would like to focus, I would like your comments on this, would be about learning Arabic for people who are reverts, who have reverted to Islam,
Who work for Islam.
who are
New
who have
Muslims.
reverted
Yes,
Muslims.
new
it's
Muslims.
revert to Islam. Either
Yes.
they are Arabs or non-Arabs.
Yes. So
So it's the
what
same
would be
thing.
the difference? Like,
Whether
because
they are revert or not, it's not a fact. But again, the focus would be most of the time you spend on the Islamic vocabulary. And that's why we gave the example of Surah Al-Rahman. It's much better to teach him Surah Al-Rahman than to teach him a conversation about the food today. We're so hungry, that's why we use the vocabulary of it. So instead of teaching him about the fish bone model or the flower model, teach him about, yes, Surah Al-Rahman, something that he needs in his prayer. Again, I said that this is a common thing about all Muslims. We need to know what is in the Book of Allah. So this will be our focus. Yes. Whether we are teachers of physics, whether we are engineers, whether we are whoever wants to know what's in the Book of Allah. Because this is how we communicate with Allah. Any other comment, please?
So with such effective techniques, mashallah, what about the institutions like madrasas and small, in every nook and corner of Mumbai also you'll have small rooms and small schools where they teach Arabic, the old age method and hitting the children. It's very rote learning sorts. So do you have any program or any some changes for them or some guidance for such organizations?
I did some magic, but I don't have magic hands. No, I cannot change. Yeah, there's one way of doing it. Yes, you know that my book consists of 5 volumes, right, with tapes and other things. One way of teaching them very quickly is to take. I'm just kidding. To take all of them, put them in boiled water, and then drink the water, and they will learn the language. Yeah. There's no magic answer. They have to change the method. They have to change to train the teachers. There is a sunnah of Allah, a track that we have to go through. It's not magic. We have to do this. We have to do what the people who teach English had done. We have to do what the people who teach French had done. We have to benefit from them, the methods, and we apply them. So it's a matter of knowledge. You are on the right track. You've learned some information now. You want to apply them. First of all, you need to increase this, right? And then after that, to be sure of what you're saying, to be able to respond to the 200 questions that are waiting for you. And then you start changing. How can you change by yourself? At least the easiest way to make the change is to train the teacher and to convince the teachers. This is the easiest. Before even you change the curriculum, because changing the curriculum, everybody will yell at you. It's very costly. We love this series. We already bought the books. You will find millions of excuses that would deter you from continuing your mission. Yes, it is. And as I said, that Dr. Zakir Naik, Jazahullah khairan, yes, when I talked to him, he was convinced. I know what's happening now is very costly for IRF and very costly for me to live. But I think the message that I have, I think, is much, much precious than other things, than the money that we lost. So, and I hope, inshallah, I am very hopeful that you can make changes, inshallah, and teaching of many things after being qualified now, alhamdulillah. I feel very happy with your level of qualification now. Other comments, other questions? Yes, please.
Sheikh, the question is, certain times we feel that the curriculum that which has been set for a particular class is not up to the level. It's too high for them. But the logic that which is given is that if we make them learn these high things now, at least they can grab 30% of it, 40% of it. Maybe we can repeat the same thing in the higher classes too. So how will you reply to this?
If the answer is maybe, I'm not going to ask. If the answer, yes, we are going to teach them this, and here is the curriculum, I would be very happy. I would accept it. If the answer is maybe and it's possible, yeah, I wouldn't.
What if it is yes?
I wouldn't buy. If the answer is yes, that's fine. But why would I do this? Why would I teach them something they do not comprehend? I said that the timing of the experience is very essential. When, I said when and how. When do you teach this is very important. You have to find. You may need to read some research that tells you, do you know that there's some research that tells us when is the best time to take the attendance of the students in the classroom? There are some people who spend their time to say that what is the best time to take the attendance of the students in your classroom? Is it in the early beginning? Is it at the end? Is it after half an hour? Is it... some research had been done on this. Why waste your time? See what the people... they have done the effort for you. The effort is there. You need to get it and apply it. It's, by the way, for your information, it's after 10 minutes from the beginning. And you take it, everybody is there, nobody is coming. Because when you take it in the beginning, yes, some people may come late and this would disturb you, and you take it while the students are, yes, busy doing a task, right? So they should be busy doing any task, and it takes from you very limited time. Now you got piece of information, you can go to the principal and teach the principal, okay? So the research is there, the internet is there, we need to learn. We are in the process of learning, and there will never be a time that we say that stop learning. I would access the internet every time, and I would see whether there are new changes or not. I know that the topic is interesting, and I know that everybody wants to ask and make a comment, but the time is